Hello and welcome to our in-depth review of the top 10 weather disasters of the last decade. As the climate continues to change, our planet has faced some of the most catastrophic and devastating weather disasters. From deadly hurricanes to overwhelming heatwaves and raging wildfires, we'll traverse the globe to shed light on these dramatic events that reshaped regions and left lasting impacts. Buckle up, as this journey might be a rough weather ride. 1. Typhoon Haiyan, Yolanda, Philippines, 2013. In November 2013, the world was shocked by the ferocity of Typhoon Haiyan, known locally as Yolanda. As one of the strongest tropical cyclones ever recorded, it left a devastating trail in the Philippines. With winds reaching speeds of 195 miles per hour, Haiyan was not only deadly but also immensely destructive. The storm resulted in over 6,000 deaths, with the numbers growing as missing persons were unaccounted for. Millions were displaced, left homeless and vulnerable, marking a humanitarian crisis of epic proportions. The estimated damages were astronomical, reaching approximately $5.8 billion, which threw the already struggling nation's economy into disarray. Many communities continue to feel Haiyan's impact, years after it made landfall. 2. European heatwave, 2019. Europe was engulfed in a fierce heatwave during the summer of 2019, breaking temperature records across the continent. August in Europe is usually hot, but this was unprecedented, with countries like France experiencing temperatures as high as 114 degrees Fahrenheit. This was more than just uncomfortable, it was deadly. Heat-related deaths rose to over 2,500, affecting vulnerable populations like the elderly most severely. Wildfires raged across the landscapes, turning green areas into charred remnants and destroying wildlife habitats. This heatwave demonstrated the urgent need for adaptive measures as climate change makes these events increasingly common. 3. Australian bushfires, 2019-2020. Dubbed the Black Summer, Australia's 2019-2020 bushfire season was nightmarish. By the time the flames were extinguished, over 18 million hectares of land were scorched. Thousands of homes were reduced to ashes, leaving countless families heartbroken. The fires took the lives of at least 33 people and inflicted the nation with damages amounting to an eye-watering $103 billion. Additionally, the fires had a catastrophic effect on Australia's unique wildlife, with an estimated billion animals perishing. The scars of this environmental disaster run deep, with rebuilding efforts ongoing. 4. Cyclone Idai, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Malawi, 2019. Cyclone Idai etched its name in history as one of the worst tropical cyclones to impact Africa, striking Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Malawi in March 2019. The storm caused more than 1,300 deaths, with many bodies never recovered due to extensive flooding. Communities faced an immediate humanitarian crisis as infrastructure crumbled. Water sources were contaminated, increasing the risk of diseases like cholera. Aid agencies struggled to provide relief due to the damage to roads and communication networks, making the response efforts painfully slow. The human suffering caused by Idai underscored Africa's vulnerability to climate-related natural disasters. 5. Hurricane Dorian, Bahamas, 2019. Hurricane Dorian was a Category 5 storm that hit the Bahamas in September 2019, creating havoc with its intense winds clocking in at 185 miles per hour. This level of ferocity caused overwhelming destruction, completely flattening towns like Marsh Harbor. As the stagnant storm continued its assault, at least 74 people lost their lives, with many more missing. Families were torn apart, with children among those displaced and in need of urgent aid. The financial cost of Dorian was staggering, with damages estimated at $3.4 billion. The storm laid bare the vulnerability of island nations in the face of more frequent and powerful hurricanes. 6. Western North America heatwave, 2021. The heatwave that descended upon Western North America in 2021 was brutal, proving to be a deadly force. Stretching from the U.S. Pacific Northwest into Canada, the wave brought temperatures that far surpassed records. Hundreds of people died as infrastructure could not cope with the heat, and few homes were equipped with air conditioning. As thermometers climbed, wildfires ignited across the region, consuming forests with a voracious appetite. Citizens and governments alike were caught off guard, underscoring the need for better preparation against weather events intensified by climate change. 7. Hanan floods. China, 2021. In July 2021, Hanan province in China faced unprecedented rainfall, leading to catastrophic flooding. The sheer amount of water overwhelmed infrastructures like dams and drains, leaving over 300 people dead. Streets turned into rivers as water surged through cities, washing away cars and destroying buildings with ease. In addition to the heavy human toll, economic losses were calculated to exceed $17 billion. This disaster reflected the increasingly grim impact of extreme weather events influenced by climate change, shining a spotlight on the necessity for climate resilience. 8. Pakistan floods. 2022. Pakistan endured severe monsoon rains in 2022, culminating in a flooding disaster of immense scale. An estimated 33 million people were affected, contributing to one of the worst humanitarian crises in the country's history. The floods claimed over 1,700 lives, devastating communities already struggling with poverty. Homes and farmland were submerged, leading to food security issues and economic uncertainty. The financial burden is estimated at $30 billion, a figure that outlines the vast scope of devastation. Recovery efforts continue in earnest, paralleling the stories of resilience amidst such adversity. 9. Hurricane Ian. United States, 2022. In September 2022, Hurricane Ian struck the United States as a powerful Category 4 hurricane. Floridians bore the brunt of its wrath, facing winds that toppled trees and erased homes from neighborhoods. The human cost was severe, with over 150 lives lost to the ferocity of the storm. Financially, Ian has been named one of the costliest hurricanes in U.S. history, with damages around $113 billion. This event highlighted the recurring threats faced by coastal communities, reigniting discussions on improving hurricane preparedness and minimization strategies. 10. Maui wildfires. United States, 2023. In early 2023, the wildfires on the Hawaiian island of Maui struck dread into the hearts of many. Fierce flames engulfed vast areas, particularly impacting the town of Lahaina. At least 100 people lost their lives, with countless others suffering property losses. The natural beauty of the landscape was marred significantly, leaving the affected areas scarred. As firefighting efforts struggled to contain the blazes due to unpredictable winds, the fires served as a stark reminder of nature's unforgiving power. This disaster further emphasized the urgent need for environmental management to curtail the impact of such uncontrolled blazes.